Though King Charles has been asking Prince Harry to not release his upcoming memoir, there's zero chance that will happen. It's too late now. Harry has signed the deal and received an advance. The book is done and it will come out with or without Harry, a source said. Currently, he's updating it to include the passing of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, but there have been zero discussions about killing the book. Zero. The tome is so top secret that Harry's wife Meghan Markle is the only one that has looked over the pages. Internally, this book is being treated like the new Harry Potter novel. They're so paranoid it will leak out, so they use a secret name when referring to the memoir. It's called the GKH Project, which is the nickname his mother Princess Diana used for her beloved son. GKH stood for Good King Harry, the insider adds. The truce in William and Harry's feud will last till the memoir is released, since there is still distrust between the princes according to royal insiders. Their relationship hangs in the balance despite the public displays of unity with their wives following the Queen's death. During a solemn procession from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall last week, the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Sussex stood shoulder to shoulder as they guided Her Majesty on a final journey before her lying in state. But in a striking picture taken on the day of the Queen's funeral, the divisions in the family were still apparent as Prince Harry and his disgraced uncle Prince Andrew walked on the outside of the King and his heir. Despite the family coming together to honour the late monarch, including 2 vigils by the Queen's children and grandchildren, insiders have revealed their relationship with the rest of the firm still remains fractured beyond repair. One royal insider said, "The family continues to be in mourning and are now finally being allowed to grieve for the Queen away from the gaze of millions." However, any talk of a truce between the Prince and the Duke would only be temporary. There is still a serious amount of distrust in their heir, and there hasn't been any cause for that to change. On the other side, Meghan Markle has reportedly been planning for the release of her very own memoir. This insight has been brought to light by royal editor Roya Nicker in her interview with True Royalty TV's The Royal Beat. She began by saying, "The thinly veiled threats that came in Meghan's interview with The Cut, I think she probably hopes it does feel threatening to the royal family, but I think there's a lot of eye-rolling going, we're used to this by now." That phrase, "I have a lot to say until I don't," and "I've never signed anything that restricts me from talking," there's a very strange inference there. She also added, and of course the reminder that she keeps a journal, and a revelation that, when we came back to Windsor to Frogmore Cottage for the Jubilee, I rediscovered my journal that I'd left there. I was astonished to discover that she'd left a highly private diary behind in Windsor rather than taking it back. She's mentioned a couple of times in the last year or two that she kept a journal, and I think there's a very strong inference that Meghan could write her own memoir. Most of their belongings were packed up a long time before they even left for Canada and America, so packing up was done. Certainly when Eugene lived there for a while with a husband and child, they had the run of the house. Before concluding, he added, "I think that most of Harry and Meghan's belongings that remained, which weren't many, were stored away, so I don't think she came back and packed up the whole house. I read it as an opportunity for her to mention the journal."